We're moving, we're vibing. While we're talking, you can get your laugh on. Watch the channel of a video. And subscribe, like and follow. We are chilling with the girls, with the girls, the girls, with the girls, chilling with the girls.
Ooh, should we wait for more people or what do you think?
Got one on here. I think so. Give them a couple more minutes to get on here.
All right, we'll give them
Come
a couple
on,
more.
y'all. Get that. Come on, y'all. The one that's on here. We need y'all to get to sharing.
Yes.
That is right.
I want to give them a couple more minutes, I think. So while we're doing that, let me see if I can share this. And y'all, while we're waiting for a couple more people to come on, y'all can share.
Yeah, I'm trying to share it now.
Okay.
Um,
Yes. Come on in here. Come on in here. Yes, yes, yes. Hey y'all, how y'all doing today?
mm.
Okay, Mel, we are.
Okay, all right. Here we go. So, this is it. A little tiny banner and this little thing of cookies. That's how we celebrating Black History Month this year? Really?
Girl, I am tired. Every year, it's the same thing. Post Rosa Parks, post Dr. King. Say, we shall overcome. Boom, done.
Not boom done. Tawanda, what in the world?
Now, wait a minute. Don't get casual with legacy.
You know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, do we still need a whole month? Why can't it just be history instead of Black history? Just history.
Ooh, she said it, y'all. She's one of those this year.
All right,
Uh-oh.
let's just talk about it because people really do ask why y'all need a whole month. Cherise,
Exactly.
okay.
So nobody has like Irish History Month popping up on my feed.
Actually, there is one.
Yup, Tawanda. Google is free, boo-boo.
Yeah, but it's not popping up on my feed. Anyway, still, why does it feel like we keep recycling trauma every February?
Yeah, we're not talking about not celebrating it for our chili peppers. That's the problem right there. We're talking about we only highlight the struggle part of it. Like the slavery, the segregation, don't drink from that water fountain, sicking the dogs on us, civil rights. And, yes, those are important. We're not saying they're not important, but we have to understand that Black history is way more than chains and marches.
Yes, you're so right, Tish. It's about inventions. What about businesses and
Yeah.
education? We got doctors and and educations and stuff. Faith,
Yeah.
family, all of that.
Yeah.
And perseverance.
You're right, Mom. Right? But real talk, if Black history is American history, why wasn't it taught, when I was coming up in school?
Well, you know what? Because it wasn't valued the same.
That's
That's a
something to think
shame, though.
about because I
Yeah.
didn't even learn about half of these inventors until I was grown up.
And that is exactly why it was created.
Do y'all even know who started Black History Month?
Dr. Martin Luther King.
No, I think it was Harriet Tubman. I think she did.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It was a historian named Carter G. Woodson. He realized that textbooks ignored Black contributions completely.
Wow.
So he created Negro History Week in 1926. See, girl, young people, we have to learn to write our own story. Do the research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. 1926?
Yep. You know what that means. That even back then they were trying to erase us.
Wow. So this month in February wasn't about separation. It was about correction, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. Hmm.
Well,
Wow.
let me ask this. Why do some people get so uncomfortable when February comes around? What's up with
Mm,
that?
you know why? Because celebration exposes ignorance.
Ooh,
Yep. And you know what? Some people don't like being reminded of how evil they were. And they don't want to be reminded that greatness comes in every shade.
And sometimes we don't celebrate ourselves enough either.
And let's be honest about that. How many of us only post Black History stuff during February?
Guilty.
I mean, that's when it is trending.
Legacy is not seasonal.
Yeah, but imagine just growing up and never seeing yourself in a textbook unless it was about slavery. And you sitting up here got this thing around, you seeing your ancestors with the Lord chain around their neck. Just imagine just seeing yourself like that.
Yeah. Imagine just thinking your people only survived,
Yeah.
but never built anything,
Wow.
never invented anything, or led the people, or were in government that healed, laid hands on people, or even pastored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, that would mess with our identity, right? That'll mess with your
Mm.
identity. Mm.
Exactly. And identity shapes our destiny.
And you
We
know
gotta
what?
know who we are.
This Black History Month isn't about exclusion, but it's actually about inclusion. Put it back on the website. It's about filling in the pages that were torn out.
hmm It's about honoring the shoulders that we stand on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about teaching our children that their story didn't start in chains.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mm.
And it does
man.
not end in limitations. We can
Mm,
expand. We can go as far as we want to go.
yeah.
And also, like mommy said, we can expand the list beyond the big four.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Mel. You know, I love Dr. King. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
But we act like no other black person ever woke up and did something big, and did something for our
Yeah.
civil
Yeah,
rights,
we need
Yeah.
to start like magnifying the black scientists and the black entrepreneurs. The children need to know who they are and who, they can be. And like
Yeah.
mirror the black entrepreneurs and the black architects and the black worship leaders and the black people
Mm.
who design cars and stuff like that. We never talk about those
Mm.
people.
Yeah.
And we don't think about the black mothers who
Yeah.
prayed their generations forward.
Mm,
I mean,
Wow.
and some of them prayed and they may have died, but their prayer was still working
yeah.
because
Mhm.
God answered your prayers even though you're in the grave. Your voice is still loud. Don't stop praying.
So we're not just, doing a recycled speech. Nothing against it at all, but we're not going to recycle it tonight.
Yeah, and we're not going to be quoting, I have a dream that one day.
Oh man, that's true, right? Man, but like she said, it is important. And we're not just posting, one bus ride, right, with Rosa
Yeah,
Park. We're not posting that,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Mm.
Now we're not going to forget it either because I lived during those days. I'm not going to
That's
forget
true,
it.
Mom.
Yeah,
But we're going to
right.
celebrate the full story.
Yes,
Full, the positive and the negatives. The
Yeah.
full
yeah.
story. The
So
negative made the positivity possible.
So look, y'all, we know the people who's on here. We have our little skit, but we just want to welcome everyone to Chilling with the Girls. Sharice was
Yes.
saying we need to focus since we don't. Plus, they don't talk about it, for 100 years. Our people need help. And she said we need to
Mm-hmm.
highlight many inventors. Is to show what we have contributed. So we need to understand, and the children need to know, what did we contribute? A lot, a whole lot. So we're just so glad
Yeah.
y'all here tonight, Chili Peppers. And this is going to be a very powerful conversation. Tonight, we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about legacy part of it, not just history, not just the facts, but what we carry, who we are, who God created us to be, who God put
Yeah.
what God put in us. We're talking
Yeah.
about the legacy we carry, celebrating our story and our strength. Because we have to understand that Black History Month is not just about remembering. It's
That's
about
right.
recognizing, reclaiming. It's about responsibility. Because guess what? We didn't just survive history, y'all. We built it. We prayed
Yeah.
through it, Lord Jesus. We worship with all
Mm.
those songs. We worship through it. And guess what? We rose through it. And tonight,
Mm-hmm.
we want to honor that. We are going
Yeah.
to honor that part of it tonight. Yes.
Yes.
We have to
Yes.
understand that it was created for a reason. Hosea
Mm-hmm.
4, chapter 4, verse 6 says that we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. When you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand, it was something else that somebody was saying about if without knowledge, you can't be empowered without knowledge. You need
That's
knowledge.
right.
And God even said, if you want wisdom, ask for. If you anybody need wisdom,
The
ask the
lack of.
Lord. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
lack wisdom, ask of God that He'll give it to you. And He has more than enough wisdom to give you. And so Black History Month was created to correct eraser, not
Yeah.
just cause division.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's where we get it twisted,
Yeah, yeah,
because we have to know, we should know. And, in the skit, we was like, why we only do this and talk about this on February,
yeah,
whatever.
right.
And some people are maybe afraid of knowledge, but knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Knowledge
Absolutely.
protects who you are,
Mm,
and so once people get knowledge,
yes.
man, I believe that they'll start running after destiny. They'll start
Oh,
running after legacy.
mm,
Once they know what they have inside of them.
yeah,
Yes. So when your contributions are erased, your identity it weakens.
yeah.
Just think about that. And then ignorance allows narratives to be controlled by others.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
When you
right.
don't
You're
know,
right,
you
Mel.
give them power.
Yeah.
Ooh, you good. That's right, Mel.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's
Wow.
right. Yeah, and when you
Yes.
keep asking them questions, yeah, they'll tell you what they want you to know. A
Mm-hmm.
correction is not division either.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look
That's
at
right.
it like it's division. So the month was created because history books excluded Black achievements.
Wow.
Mm.
It
Wow.
was about inclusion. Now we can write our own story.
We can.
Yeah.
Come on now
That's right.
and include
Absolutely.
what you've done.
Yes. Yes. Linnea Jordan is on here tonight. She got to get a clap.
Gotta get her. I
She
gotta
got to
get
get a
her.
clap.
She gotta get a clap.
Okay. So she was saying that her grandmother name was Mary Carter Smith, an African American. Is it Griot? How you say that? D?
Yes.
And she said she honored her this month.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So
That's good.
like they were all talking about, knowledge being power and stuff. But
Yeah.
how can you get knowledge? By education. You have to educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
education shapes generations,
Yeah.
and I was thinking
Yeah.
about this when we were talking earlier, because if children don't see themselves represented,
Mm.
they internalize limitations, right?
Mm.
They like, I can't, like, like when we saw the black president and the black first lady,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
children were like, oh, I can be that, I
Yes.
can do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't
Yeah.
have any limits. I
Right.
can do this and I can do whatever I want to do. I can be
Yeah.
whomever I want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So representation expands imagination. I
Yeah.
also that one movie you all about Wakanda. What was the name of that movie? Oh man, it was a black movie. It was the African
The Black
um
Panther.
the Black Panther, absolutely. And
Oh.
all of when that was out on the news and stuff, you could see all the children were coming out the woodworks, and they were saying, "Wow, they see themselves." You know what I'm saying? I see myself in this. I see myself in that. You know, and now I can be somebody. I
Yeah.
can do something. So we want to educate our children
Yeah.
so they don't feel limited.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was thinking you were talking about representation, and I was just thinking about how we were represented. Years ago in the sitcoms, we were represented as limited
Mm-hmm.
limitations in on Good Times and limitations in Fred Sanford. Every time they thought they would win something or get something or come out of the projects, and they were like, no, they can't come out. And so that's
Yeah.
what they put in program
In that mind.
in our children's mind.
Yep.
Yeah, and they felt like they saw this color, in the
Mm-hmm.
projects. They saw this color
Right.
going into welfare and to the free clinic and all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
They saw this color living on the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Billionaires and millionaires with a whole bunch of horses and all that kind of stuff. And so we have to make sure that we educate our children so they can know where they come from. They came from
Yeah.
a royal priesthood. And we have to, that's why we have to help them understand the God in them and who
Yeah.
God created them to be. And
that's
Yeah.
right.
in scripted time, they were princes. They
Kings
were
and
kings.
queens.
Exactly.
And
And they
yeah.
need to know that. And
Mm-hmm.
because memory is power. So when you remember
Absolutely.
correctly, you move forward confidently.
Absolutely. And then like you were talking about, royal priesthood,
Yeah,
that's what they say in the Bible. That's who I am. I'm a
that's who
child
I
of the king. You
That's
know, spiritually, I can do whatever I can, I can
yes,
do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
absolutely.
Yes.
I can be
Absolutely.
whomever I want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I pray in Jesus' name, I can ask whatever I will, and He will
Yes.
give it to me. You know
That's
what I'm saying? We have to
Absolutely.
empower our children, empower
Yes.
them with the word. And I
see.
was thinking about that.
Yeah.
We are
Show them who God.
chosen generation. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Show them
Yeah.
who God see
We
them
are
as.
beautifully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
Stop looking at yourself and say, "Oh, I got a big nose, or I got big lips, or I got." Stop
Looking
looking
like
at yourself like that
yeah,
because
absolutely.
God made you beautifully. He made you be. I was just teaching Monday and I was talking about this, and I was like, let those girls know that every hair on your head is numbered. That's how much God cares about you.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He cares so much about you. So we have to teach them that, educate them on
Yeah.
that.
And
Oh, and I wanted to say something too when you were talking about, the big nose, the big lips and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
like you should appreciate who you are because somebody
Absolutely.
wants to be like you.
Yeah.
The people that have the little lips or whatever, they trying to make their lips bigger.
Put
And the
something all
people
in
that have the big lips trying to make their lips smaller. You need to be grateful and thankful for who you are because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He knew what he was doing when he made you.
and,
So
and
he made you in his image and his likeness.
oh, go ahead,
Okay.
mom. Go ahead, mom.
let me tell you, we do not demean who we are, like
No.
the cleaning and the cooking. Because you know what? You teach it and you make your companies, and you find that other people are having their own having cleaning business, and they doing the construction work. You see, and what we demean, they it build our muscles, our fortitude. Now they got it. But we're gonna. Can I say something? We're gonna sit behind the desk, making no kind of money like a construction person would. You're not making the whole now. Now you be a boss, and somebody got to cover every ground, and
Yes.
whatever ground you cover, shine in it.
Shine
Right.
in it.
Shine in it. Yes.
That's right.
And one of the biggest things you can shine in is church work. Everything you do in church, put it on your resume. And when they take you up before the promotion board, oh, she teaches. What? Oh, yes, she did this. She teaches classes. They wish they would be able to teach classes. Do not demean who you are and what you do.
And
Yes.
and and,
Please don't.
and you know what? It's like this. We were made to feel a certain way with our hair texture, with our looks. We were beautiful with our complexion. We were made to feel a certain way. You ugly if you look like this. You're this. You know what I'm saying? But if you
Yes.
look like this, if your hair is like this, if your lips are like, you know what I mean? This how you can get. And they were like, if you want to be on TV, you had to straighten your hair and look. Who are you making me look like?
Right.
Then the people came up and was like, my hair. And guess what? I know we have a whole lot of people on here
Just
watching.
be careful.
I was just talking about the healthiness of our hair. They say it's more healthy than other people's hair.
It is really healthy.
It's very, very
Mm.
healthy, the natural look. And then we put so much stuff in our hair and we
Mess it up.
Chemicals.
destroy it because we want it to be accepted. But only we have to understand, as long as you're
To
accepted in
accept
the
ourselves.
beloved, accepted by God, no one and nothing else matters.
Right. Yes. Have you all seen that commercial when this somebody wanted to play video games and they were like, "Don't just let them play video games.
Yeah.
Show them how to program video games."
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
somebody wanted to like rent a car, or whatever. Don't just rent a car. Own your own car lot. You
Bring
know.
it-
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
and parents should teach the children like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah.
just want this little piece. Get a bigger piece. You know what I'm saying? Get a bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
Teach the children like that. I remember I was just reading about this one celebrity. She was a millionaire when she was 12 years old.
Wow.
12 or
Oh.
13 years old. A millionaire. And now she's a celebrity,
Wow.
so she's making, but 12 years old. Teach your children
Wow.
they can do it at 12 years
Yeah.
old. You know?
But,
Yeah.
but first of all,
Empower
teach
them.
them to value who they are and what they're doing right now.
And what they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, value that. And
They
somebody
Yeah.
will take note of that.
Yeah.
Let them value and do the best.
Yeah.
If the place not washed, wash it again. Come on, you can do it. Don't take it from
Exactly.
them and do it for them, which we do. Let them do it and let them have. Oh, you can see your face shining in this plate. Look at this. Oh boy, they're so proud.
Wow, that's funny.
And I was also thinking about, don't tear down who God created them to be. If your child is argumentative, maybe she's an attorney. Maybe he is an attorney. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If they like to take stuff apart, maybe it just might be an engineer. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
don't you do that. Sit down. Don't you? Why you do that? Instead of trying to figure out and asking God, well, who is he? Why did he do that? Lord, why
Yeah.
did he tear that apart?
Uh-huh.
What was his thinking pattern? And the guy would say, and you ask him, he'll talk to you, he'll be like, listen,
Yeah.
I created him to be such and such. And I need you to cultivate that and not to tear it down. And
Mhm.
And
like,
when
we have to learn how to stop
Mhm.
highlighting the pain of the past.
Yeah.
Start
Yeah.
highlighting
Yeah.
the success and the legacy of the past.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
more than pain, you guys.
Yeah.
It's about the triumph. Like
Yes.
mommy was saying, what you got out of the pain, how
Yeah.
you overcame,
Yeah.
where you went to,
Mhm.
the next level,
Yes.
and so let me see, we always using the words, so we got to use the word to back up everything that we say to let you know this not us speaking. So I want to go to Psalms 118 and verse 17,
Mhm.
and I'm reading in the amplified version as well.
Okay. Okay.
And it reads, I shall not die but live,
Yeah.
and shall declare the works and recount the illustrious acts of the Lord.
That's good.
So Black history is not only just surviving, we shall overcome. No, it's not just all about that. It's about innovation.
Yeah.
It's about excellence,
Right.
y'all, because we can
Absolutely.
excel in everything that we do. We can. We
Yes.
really can.
Absolutely. And so, and it's like,
Yes.
and you know what else, y'all? We build when we are oppressed. And and you see that as
That's
well,
so true.
in
That's
the
so true.
scriptures. When they were
Mm-hmm.
oppressed, the more they beat them, the more they oppressed, the
Well,
more they grew,
oh,
the
they,
more they
Mm-hmm.
multiplied,
that's
the more,
right.
the bigger
Mm-hmm.
they got, the greater they got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And also we inventions,
Yes.
so many
Yeah.
inventions. We talked about that some shows back.
We did.
We
Mm-hmm.
so many inventions, that came from, Black History Month, and
Mm-hmm.
people of color, so many
Mm-hmm.
inventions and businesses. I mean, all kinds of businesses,
Yeah, man.
tailoring businesses.
Yes.
People had their own grocery stores. They had their own banks.
Thanks. Yes.
They had their own dry cleaners. They had
Yep.
so many businesses, their own
Yes.
Yeah.
daycares. Their own hair lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Hair products and stuff that people
Yeah.
wanted and they paid big money for. And these people became millionaires
Yeah.
in doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
institutions,
Yeah.
all the colleges and stuff,
Yeah.
that we started and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
education,
Yes.
education is huge. And I
Yes.
say, even today, we have access to so much
So much.
education, even
Yep.
on the World Wide
Mm-hmm.
Web. Educate yourself. Teach
Yeah.
your children how to educate themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
If you
Yeah.
don't know how to do it, go online and
Go
you can find out,
figure it out.
right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Find out, teach
Yes.
yourself, train yourself. YouTube can teach you and train you to do
Yes.
so many things,
Google. Google.
Google can teach you, and they have so much
Yes.
stuff now that
Yes,
can
they do.
educate you and train you to do stuff,
Yes.
Canva, all
Yes.
that stuff, different stuff. And you can make
Yes.
beautiful stuff,
Yes, you
your
can.
own self,
Yeah.
DIYs, do it yourself,
Yep.
Yeah.
so much stuff, educate yourself.
Yeah, so we need to take the limits off of God. And when we
Mm,
do that, we take the limits off of ourselves.
Mm,
Yeah.
You
mm,
said
mm, mm.
educate yourself through all levels and
Mhm.
in every sector, and there's no age limit because
That's right.
your mom is learning stuff right now from the computer.
How
mm-hmm.
old are you? How old is you? How old
80,
is you?
I'll be 84 this year, and I'm
Ooh.
still
Come
yeah. So
on.
it's not. Listen, take the limits off yourself.
Take the limits off.
Yeah. So we also led in every sector.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Politics. And now you saw that this week. The man who used to be the president is still stealing the show. He is still woo, 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 stealing the show. It's an education. Nobody can look, don't let anybody say you can't do it
That's right.
You
and say
can.
you are less than. No, you're not. You have more than enough. You're
Yes.
serving a God that is
Yes.
more than enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Medicine. Now
Mom,
I
you
have
sound
y'all
excited.
on here. If I get sick, if I feel bad, I call a little doctor in my family. I say, I'm gonna
Okay.
call Dr. Tawanda.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
And she can make stuff for her mama. Yes,
Yeah.
she
yes.
can. God just put stuff in her head. Let me tell you,
Yes.
sick on the job, right? They want her going to full-time disability,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Why did she go home?
Mm.
Just go. God downloaded everything,
Yes,
Like
he
it's
did.
all the
on now.
moon in her brain.
Yes.
Sewing, cooking, oh, I
Yeah.
Yes.
medicine, making deodorants, anything. She put even making the box that she put the stuff in. And she said she couldn't believe. Don't put the limits on God.
That's right. Oh my
Let me.
Mm.
gosh.
She
That's
can I
right.
say she's the shortest one,
She is
but
the
she's the tallest in her
Come
education.
Oh
on.
Lord. Oh
I'm
Lord.
telling. Don't look. I know. Don't let size fool you, my
that's
children, my
right. Don't
family,
get
my
it
friends,
twisted.
and my enemies. Don't let size fool you now. Don't let age fool you. No. In politics. She was in politics one
Ooh.
time too. She helped somebody win an election.
She sure did.
Medicine, science. And don't say science is a sin because when you obey God, that's perfect science. God is the author of perfect science.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an author of like a lot of theories. Perfect science. H2O still equals water.
That's
That's right.
right.
It has been water forever. That's perfect science.
Yeah.
Faith. You operate by faith. The just shall live by faith. Art.
Yes.
Just don't be mundane. Make an art out of it. Art
Yes.
of cooking,
That's good,
melody,
Yes.
Mom.
especially technology. Melody can turn a dinner upside down, so to speak.
Yes.
Can just
Yes.
art. I mean, just lay out a table with all kind of decorations
Go
with
downstairs.
flowers. Let me tell you. Oh, I can just preach on this, but I won't. I won't. I
Oh,
won't. I'm gonna give it a rest.
and so, Mom, that was so good because
That
you
was.
did a perfect example of celebration that builds confidence. Like when we
Good, yeah.
celebrate our children,
Yeah.
some confidence and know that,
Yes.
man, you did that. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Man, you are amazing. And they say,
Yes.
I'm amazing, Mom. Yes, you can do anything. So
Yes.
celebration builds confidence.
Yes.
Highlight excellence, strengthen young minds. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm challenging us to do. If you're around a young person, don't talk down to them, but praise them, celebrate them, and watch their faces, their face will just light
Mhm,
up.
mhm,
And then guess
Mm-hmm.
what? They be like, oh, look what I did. And you notice how when you celebrate a child, they be like, well, look what else I did. And look, I just did this. And look at that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
They
they
love it.
confidence. And so they
Yeah.
take it to school. And then they take
Yeah.
it to work. And then they grow with it. They grow with confidence. And you can't
Right.
talk
Yeah.
about it. So the best thing to tell your child is you can do anything you want to do. And I
Yes.
heard testimonies about people who are great inventors and stuff. They were like, their mom
mhm,
told them, you can do anything you want to do. Like
mhm.
Yeah.
their mom, I forgot his name. But she pretend she was reading. She couldn't read, and she pretend she was reading their book reports and grading it and stuff. But she really couldn't
Mm.
read. But it was just encouraging them. Yeah,
Wow.
I
yeah.
You
think
know,
there was a doctor too.
It's that
Doctor
the
from
doctor
Hopkins
that we,
Hospital.
yes, the blood
Doctor.
plasma. Oh my goodness, the one who was running for the president,
Yeah, that's a doctor. Doctor. Doctor.
Carson.
Doctor Carson.
oh,
Yes,
Ben
Yeah,
Carson's
Doctor.
mom.
Oh.
I read the
that
book. I read the
Ben Carson's
story.
I looked at the movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
And
say something, Tish, about
that,
that?
yes,
Now, when your kids are misbehaving, don't
yeah,
say, go in your room, be quiet. No, when my son was tearing everything apart, just picking stuff to pieces,
yeah.
I said, Farmer, we're gonna go down to the store and buy him this thing,
Circuit board.
this board.
Right.
Because he's picking stuff apart, tearing up my stuff, and I gave him that. Now that's what he's doing for a living. He
You
be
know,
well,
That's what
he
you have to do.
excelled in that computer
Yeah,
thing, taking
yeah.
stuff apart and fixing
Mm.
it.
the worst thing you can do as a parent is force your child to be who you want them
Oh,
to be.
wow, that's
Mhm.
You know,
good.
Yeah.
I was reading in this book. It's called Understanding People, and it was saying that if the parent forces the child to do something that they want them to do, and
Yeah.
if that child fails at it, that causes
Wow.
confusion in that child,
Mhm.
Mm.
and so that child begins to get stuck. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Mhm.
saying?
Wow.
Trying to promote what that child wants to do.
Yeah.
If it's a good thing, promote it, read about it, find out more about it,
Yeah. Mhm.
and encourage your child in that. The worst thing you can do is force them to be something you want them to be,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know?
Bryn said, my lovely ladies, we honor you all for what you do, making a great legacy right now, making a positive difference. We appreciate and love you all. Hearts all over the place.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
I
you.
felt that.
Oh,
I felt that.
So
Thank you.
And
thank
Janice
you
is
so much.
on. Hey,
I
Janice.
love
Yes. Oh yes, Janice is on. Yes. This
Yes.
is so good because I was thinking about my granddaughter
Mhm.
and how she asked so many questions
Yes, she
about
Yeah.
does.
everything. It don't matter what it is. She want to know. So why why is it like that?
I'm
So
not an
why are you putting milk inside of the mashed potatoes? So why? I mean,
Oh,
anything. It doesn't matter what it is. She wants to know why. She wants to know why. And so I was getting a little frustrated, inside. Because it was just so many questions. It was
I
questions
know.
on top of questions.
Right, right, right.
Because well, I used the milk on there so it can, make the potatoes a little thicker and it give it some flavor. So why do you want it to have flavor? Yeah, you like bread? You know what I'm saying? So I thought about it and I
Yeah,
said, you know what? I don't want to discourage her from
Right.
asking questions,
yeah.
Right.
because you can easily do that as
You can.
well.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, that's enough questions or whatever, and then she won't ask any more questions. But then I
Exactly.
start thinking about why is she asking all these questions?
Yeah.
And some of my daughter said maybe she wants to be a scientist or a judge or something. I was like, oh, okay. Ask more questions, so I will find the answers. And then if I can't, I told her, I said, you know what? I said, your grandmother loves questions. You should probably ask her. She's like, she would love for you to ask her questions. And she said, Grandma like questions? I said, yes, she like
So Melanie. So she came to church and said, Grandma, do you like questions? I said, yes, I do. Say, Mimi said you like questions. I said, yes. So you have a question? Yes, honey, I like questions. So, and she asked me a question, and I told her, and then she was satisfied with it.
That's
So I
funny.
said, that's what Melanie's doing.
Hey Denise, how you doing? Welcome
Hi,
tonight.
Denise is
Oh my goodness.
on. Hey, Denise.
And it's so important to me.
Yes,
'Cause I
yes.
took her with me and I was running out of answers and I'm like, and it was about a graveyard. And I was like, well, why are those things there? I was like, well, that's the gravestones and I was and I had to go to the people they go and they purchase them. They purchase them and I was like, and then when she said this is like it was like, oh my goodness. She said, so when my mom and dad die, they're gonna be over there. I was like, oh, they not gonna die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like well, she was just asking so many because we drove there. But we're saying all that to say, do not ignore your child
Yeah.
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 because you can be imparting stuff in them, and then God can help you in their questions. Some things you
Yeah.
might not know, and then God might download them into you
Yeah.
and tell you how to answer. We need to know how to answer our children,
Lord Jesus.
Right.
you know,
Yes.
and how to
Absolutely.
interact with them.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And don't
Oh.
ever say, I told you that yesterday. No, don't do that. Tell them again. Tell them again and again and again.
And you know what that is?
Right.
That's legacy.
Yes.
Legacy.
Yes.
Knowledge.
Absolutely.
When you leave knowledge, and people think legacy, I'm leaving legacy, I'm leaving them a car, I'm leaving them a house, I'm leaving them
No.
this. No, it's
It's
knowledge.
knowledge. That's
Yes.
good.
Knowledge. That's
Absolutely.
what legacy is,
And the
knowledge.
more
That's
you do that
good.
with them, the more you reinforce it to yourself. See,
Exactly.
sometimes I tend to be forgetful, but the more I'm repeating it, the
Yeah.
better my mind is getting.
Right.
I get sharper. So
Absolutely.
you help yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so we're talking about history and
Yeah.
our identity and all that kind of stuff. So, but what happens when your identity is incomplete? When you don't have
Mm,
all of the information and stuff
wow.
that you need.
Oh,
Wanda.
so actually, identity
Mhm.
shapes your destiny, right? So let's
Mm,
look at Psalm 100, 145
Mhm.
and
okay.
verse 4, and I'm reading from the Amplified. It says, "One generation shall praise your works to another, and shall declare your mighty and remarkable acts."
Mm.
Wow. So
Mm,
we're talking about passing down truth. It's a spiritual
Ooh, wow.
responsibility. Oh my God. Just your spiritual
wow.
responsibility to pass down truth. You know,
Mm.
the Bible says, you shall know the truth, and
Me.
the truth shall make you free,
That's
Right.
good.
right? So
Right.
the
Yeah.
truth brings freedom.
Mhm.
Yes.
That
Free.
reminds me of
Yes.
of Juneteenth, right? When
Mhm.
people didn't know that they were free, they were ignorant of the fact that
Yes.
they were free. So when they found out the truth,
Mm.
They were able to walk in their freedom. They
Yes.
were able to walk in liberty. So let's
Yes.
do that. Let's pass down the truth. It's your
Yes.
spiritual responsibility.
Yes.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yes. So what is truth? Where can you find truth? You can find truth first of all in the word of God. Everything that you need is in the word. It's all in the word, believe it or not.
Yes.
It's in
Yeah.
there. It's in the word of God. You can also find truth in books. You can find truth at the library.
Yes.
You can find truth by talking to your elders, leadership,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Go find truth, go talk to your pastor, talk to your ministers,
Right.
all of those things. So educate yourself. Get the education that you need so you will know the truth so you can pass it down, and build legacy.
Right.
Pass it down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Can
we
I say
Absolutely.
already.
something about the truth too?
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
frees you up from dependency and it saves you money. It gives you freedom. So if you know how to
Mhm.
do your taxes, you know how to drive your own car.
You won't
You
pay
you you say you
$500.
you you don't you end up getting paid for doing other people's stuff that
Right.
they don't want to do. It frees you up. So you got
Right.
freedom and you walk like you know what you're talking about. You walk in the talk,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it gives you freedom.
that's
Sister
good.
Amelia is on.
Hey, Sister Amelia.
Amelia, we love you
Hey,
too,
Julia.
And I like that you're talking about saving money if you knew how to do stuff, but also if you had patience. Legacy is teaching people how
Oh,
to have patience and waiting.
yeah.
I was reading this book about the power and purpose of prayer by Miles Monroe. And
Mm.
he was just talking about how people, and I didn't mean to get off of this. Oh my gosh. He was just talking about how people start doubting when their prayers aren't being answered and they stop things. They stop asking
Mm.
God, their faith, weakens and all that kind of stuff. And we will understand that when we know the truth in God, we can rest in God and we can
Mhm.
trust God, to
Mhm.
bring us through. The truth is everything He said in His Word is, and the truth is, and you were like, remember Tawana preached that, and she was like, that is this, but the fact says this, but the truth is this.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And so that was like really, really good, and that's what legacy is, y'all. Legacy is
Mm.
truth, and we
Yes,
Yeah.
finding out
come
the
out in
truth.
truth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Ma, what does
Yes.
faith do?
Faith sustains generations. You
Mm,
shall know the truth. The truth shall make you free, but also faith. Have faith in God. You can move mountains. Oh
Mm.
my
Absolutely.
goodness. The
yeah.
just shall
Yes.
live by faith.
Right.
You can just believe God. It's putting your belief in action. It takes
Mm,
you to another level.
yeah.
And you just know it. So he that comes to God must believe that he is. So when
Yeah.
Is.
you know who God is
Whew.
and that you
Mm.
know you his child,
Ma,
there,
what's the first part of that?
but faith,
Yes.
but the just shall live by
What's the
faith.
first part of that scripture? Without
You can't please him. You can't please God
without faith.
Right.
without faith.
Right.
You
It's
cannot please God.
Right.
impossible.
He
Possible.
wants you to believe in
Yes.
Him. He's
Yes.
the
Yeah.
ultimate person that you go to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
Absolutely.
say you can't do this. With
Right.
Him, all things is possible.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
With God, all
Absolutely.
things are possible. Now by the faith,
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
faith in
Hmm.
Him.
So you know what, y'all?
What?
It's our responsibility now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So the Bible says, train up a child. I remember
Yeah.
somebody was
Mhm.
saying, it didn't say train up your child. It says train up a child.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when a child
Mm,
pass your
that's
way, or
good.
impart into that child.
Yeah.
Train up that child, no
It's your
matter who the child
responsibility.
is.
Yep.
Train up a child in the way they should go. And when they get old, they won't depart. It won't depart
Right.
from them,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
now is our responsibility to
Yeah.
teach beyond February.
Come
Not just
on.
February.
Oh,
We
there
got to
it is.
teach it in March, teach it in April, teach it in May, teach
Yes.
it in June.
Yeah.
Come on
Right.
now. We're
November,
going to teach beyond February, right?
Yes. Yes.
So so the celebration strengthens identity.
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
So when you celebrate, your history, when you celebrate legacy, when you
Yeah.
celebrate the achievements,
Yes.
oh
Mhm.
my God, that
Yes.
people have made down through the
Yeah.
years, it
Yeah.
Absolutely.
strengthens the identity,
Yes.
of
Yes.
who people are. I can do
Yeah.
that. I can be this. I
Yeah.
am. Uh-oh. What do you
Yeah.
say? I am somebody.
I am.
I am somebody.
In
I
Christ.
am
Yeah.
somebody, right?
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
oh man. So if celebration strengthens identity,
Yeah.
mother, why in the world are some people uncomfortable with it?
Mm.
Mm,
Mhm.
wow.
Oh Lord. Jeez.
Terrible.
My
And
Oh,
why
it's
they just
terrible.
they're uncomfortable because they don't know the truth.
Mm.
Oh,
What you don't know, you in doubt, and you fear of things too when you
yeah.
don't know.
That's so true.
So John 8:32 says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free." Just
that's
know it,
good.
and you know it. And what's that saying? Kua, you have the knowledge, and you
Understand
understand
wisdom.
what you know, and then and then you understand the wisdom of it to know when to use it, how to use it, when to
Wow.
use it, to whom to use it. Yeah, so it's cool. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom enough to apply it.
That's
Just
another
My.
don't
word,
keep it,
y'all. That's what
apply
we
it.
came up with.
That's
Yeah.
what, Tish?
Cool. That's what we came up with. Kua.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
cool. That's
Kua.
something the acronym
That's
and something else. If you don't remember very well, make an acronym out of it.
Yeah.
Make a
Mm-hmm.
poem out of it. Make a
yes.
song out of it. And it might be a bestseller, you know? And it will do something to your mindset too. You will not be down
Right.
in the dumps. It's as
Right.
if you just sing, you know? Yeah, a kua. Truth
Right.
and celebration do not divide.
That's right.
You see, you know the truth, so you celebrate. Don't say, why are you celebrating? Hey, I like to celebrate. It's not always cake and ice cream. You
That's right.
celebrate because you know the truth.
Know the truth.
Okay? And misunderstanding, it does not divide. Misunderstanding does. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not about fighting. If you
Ooh,
just listen, understand,
yeah.
even study to be quiet. You know, and
Yeah.
when you know the word, it makes you free. So
Yes.
it's you won't misunderstand people. Some
Right.
people fall out because of misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And you know what
yeah,
else, Mom? And then plus when you know the truth, it gives you confidence.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can hold your
Yes.
head up high since you know who you are and you don't care what nobody else think. Because
yeah,
I
Yeah.
know that I know that I know. So I have the confidence. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? You can
And you're not proud. You just know it, and
right.
you walk in the truth that you know.
Right. And
Exactly.
I wanted to go back to misunderstanding because I hear
Mhm.
people say, "Oh, I didn't know you were like that," because they think our culture, are just we're lazy people,
Mm-hmm.
thieves, and we're murderers, and we're this and we're that. And so when they get around us on the job, they feel a certain kind of way until they know who we are. And so the truth
Mm-hmm.
is what we show up in, who we are. And so they was like, oh wow. And then they start respecting, who you are, and then looking at other people another way too. And so it changes the outlook or the perspective of how they feel about the whole race. But
Right.
sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when we're not represented well, then they feel the same way about they all do it. But then
Right.
when
Yeah.
you show up, intelligent, bright,
Right.
you know what I mean? They were like,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh, so all of them like not like that. So all the churches
Yeah.
are not like that. So there are some ones who's standing on the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know why?
Absolutely.
It's because when you understand that we are equal, we are
Yeah,
the
Mhm.
same. It's
yeah,
not just showing that, showing favoritism or
right,
anything
Right.
like
right,
that.
right.
Right.
We're recognizing the contributions, like when you recognize that the contributions that were overlooked,
Yeah,
it
Mhm.
it puts
yeah,
balance in there, and that becomes equality. When
yeah.
you
Right.
know what you contributed to, what your great
So
great
true.
grandmother contributed to, all of that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
everything just start to work out.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, and it like it smooths out the plane.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right. That's
It
so
Exactly.
smooths
true.
the plane, and then
Right.
Yes.
you don't feel
Yes.
pressured or anything like, oh, because my
Yes.
grandmother did this. Oh well, I don't have to be here because she invented the salt and pepper. Oh, okay. You know, yes,
Wow.
yes. When you
Wow.
know these things, when you
Ah,
know these
Mhm.
things, you could just relax and feel
yes.
Right.
comfortable in growing and learning and
That's so
doing more as well.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
something
Right.
else, we
Yeah.
get to appreciate one another too. We appreciate your
absolutely.
contributions, and we
Yeah.
Yes.
give you credit for it. I'm
Yes.
not going to steal y'all stuff and say, you know what, I did this, and no. I said, well, I'm the mother, that's why she's smart like this. No, God gave it to her. No, no. I just say, so and so did this. Don't get up there, like you invented it.
I
Mhm.
think I
Like
invented everything.
Kua, I
Mommy
invented
reminded me.
Kua.
Mommy reminded me, no, I did it first. I'm like, oh yes, I did so, but I be forgetting. I ain't trying to take credit. I just forget. So I was like, no, and when I take it, it's like ownership, and I really think I came up with it. Like it's ownership. Like it's deep
Help us,
down in me.
Lord.
And so I was like, no, remember, I had that book first. I was like, oh, you sure did. I wanted to talk about that the truth is not alternative. There
Mhm,
are
mhm,
no alternative, and
Mm,
it's not yours.
mhm,
So
mhm.
when you say my
it's
truth, that's
not.
not truth. It's not
No, it's
ownership.
not.
No.
Not ownership. You can't own
Yeah,
truth. Truth is
that's
just
good.
truth.
Uh-huh.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah,
and so when somebody say alternative truth, that's a lie. Because they already
That's
yeah.
right.
plant that seed that,
Mhm.
okay, they lying, like they say, what was that saying? Fake news. That's something that was planted, the
Yeah.
alternative
Hmm.
truth. And somebody even said it. Well, this is our alternative. So that means you alter the truth.
Mm.
Then if you
Right.
alter the truth, then it's a lie, baby.
It's
Yeah,
not
the
true.
truth is
Right?
Absolutely.
It's
true.
not true.
Mhm. And sometimes you say it's my theory. You're just theorizing something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not facts. And let me tell you
Mm.
about God. Because one time the Lord gave me something, and I turned on the news, the TV, and a renowned preacher said the same thing. I said, now you know what? We got one God. It's
Yes.
up to Him to reveal the same thing to everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and they say, oh, they copied. No, if God, and let me say, if God give you something, you're the only one that can explain it the way He gave it to you.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, but God
Right.
is a God. And they got the Bible for everybody, so He
Hmm.
can download the same thing into all of us.
So that was mine to
Right.
Wanda.
Right.
I
Right.
just explained it.
Right, right, exactly. Because when you
Woo.
were saying it, I was thinking about that, about the truth. You can't say
Yeah.
my truth. That means that's not the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
It's either the truth
Yeah.
or my truth. You
Right.
Yeah.
know. And I was watching this show. It was called His Truth, Her Truth, The Truth.
All of them lies. All of them sound like
Except
lies.
the truth, but God is the truth.
Look. Do y'all remember when they would show like on the sitcoms and then they'll be thinking back and they'll show what you're thinking back and
Right.
Hmm.
one
Right.
person to tell the story this way
Oh
and the
my
other person tell the
goodness.
story that way
Yeah. Yeah.
and none of them are true. And then somebody finally comes and tell everybody's
Everybody's true.
and then that's the truth.
But
They even tell
Hmm.
them on themselves that's the
Yeah.
truth.
right, but
you know
sometimes they alter their personality. And we be thinking like, you know you're not like that. Come on now. You know you're not.
That's
And I
funny.
said, why would you do that to me? And he snatched it out of my hand and
Girls, young ladies, we had a preacher came by and said, we look at so many soaps. So y'all look, they say you try it on your husband. So it changes your character. Your husband come and say, honey, did you do, you gonna say, But why? So you playing the character that you saw on the movies.
Mm-mm-mm.
That is a mess. And you know that's not your character. You be giving your character to somebody else and you take on their character. You know that's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Wow. So it's like the majority narratives are already centered, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like Black History Month adds context, right? So it's already
Mm.
there, but when you think about Black History Month, it adds the context to what's already there. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? It's like when you're talking about the scriptures and you say you got to read it in context or you got to quote it in context, you
Yeah.
know, so you
Mhm.
put this thing here and put that thing there, you know, and you don't get a good understanding of it. But
Right.
then when you study your Black history, it brings the context to the month. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It brings
Mm.
like mom was saying why Black History Month was even created in the first place. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So when you go back and you learn about your Black history, then it adds a context to what the month really is about. Because people,
Yeah.
because remember we were talking about, was it talking about, you know, my ancestors were in chains? Was it talking about, you know, Jim
Yeah.
Crow? Was it talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Gangster. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So when you go back and you find out about the, like we talked about the what is it,
Celebration of it.
what is it?
I was saying you celebrate the success of it and the strength. That's what you're talking about.
Right. So when you talk about the inventions and stuff, you know, when
Right.
Oh
you talk
yeah.
about, you know, the businesses and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, it brings context to what the month really is. You know what
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
saying?
That's
So it's the
good.
majority narratives, you know,
Mhm.
it's already centered, it's already there, you
Yeah.
know?
The one, and sometimes it comes out of a need too, a
Mm-hmm.
desperation. You need
Mm-hmm.
something, so you invent something. You know.
Yes.
Uh huh.
That is so true.
Because they
Like
didn't
Mm-hmm.
like
have they invented toilets because they didn't have toilets in their house. So the black man actually invented the
Oh
toilet.
yeah.
I'm just saying
I
because
know those
stuff
days.
that
The
they kept
outhouse.
away
they had the
from them. They kept stuff
outhouses.
away from them and they just had them in other areas. And they were like, and God said, "You're my people." And so I'm
Mhm.
just going to help you to invent it. Don't even worry about it. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
take it out of a tree or something and make a phone. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about what they took from you and what you don't
Mhm.
have, and you looking over the fence at these people living a certain way. God was like, I'm going to teach you how to make furniture. Well, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
teach you how to put a chandelier in your house. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
Mm-hmm.
we have to understand that we already have in us everything we need.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
even the food that they gave you was like the entrance inside the animals that they didn't want. But when they saw
Mhm.
how healthy you got as a result of eating,
Yes.
peanut butter and stuff, and it was really cheap, some of that stuff. But when you saw that it was getting healthy, everybody started eating, then the prices would go up, because they saw, wow, they're looking good.
Yeah.
Even the moms nursing the people's babies for them,
Mhm.
and feed and teaching them how to have etiquette.
Mhm.
Teaching them, they taught them to be ladies. They didn't
Yeah.
teach them to just jump in the house and be disrespectful, blah, blah. No, you be a
Right.
lady. They got their
Absolutely.
training, and that's why they say you tipping your finger in the church sometimes. They say
Uh,
that was a slavery mentality,
Go lower.
Mm.
but it's like being respectful. Don't make a lot of noise and stuff.
But
yeah.
I want to say, like, we're wrapping up, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about the legacy we carry, and we want to know this is not a seasonal thing. Like my
Right.
aunt was like, we need to teach this the legacy beyond February. And so
Yeah.
take it out of that box. It stays right now. You know how seasonal things like Christmas season and people start just giving to everybody
Yeah.
Christmas time,
Yeah.
or Thanksgiving. They give them all that food. But what about for January to October? What are they going to eat during that time? You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you are, oh, I'm just in the spirit of giving. But legacy doesn't stop. It carries
Right.
on and on and
Carry.
on.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's
That's
what
right.
we're talking about. And the word of God even say that a man leaves inheritance to their children. And that's
That's
Yeah.
Children's
right.
children.
Children's
right, and to
children.
their children's
Absolutely.
children, and to that generation, to that
Mhm.
generation, and it keeps going. I know
Right.
one thing. We have 1 minute. This is so good. Oh my
It
God.
is.
I was just thinking about God was telling them, I want you to teach your children this and teach them, and then
Mm-hmm.
they teach their
Yeah.
children. And that's how legacy lives. Don't
Uh-huh.
stop. It has to
Yeah.
keep on going. It has to keep
Yeah.
going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
when
y'all
you go
so
to the store, when they walking and
Yes.
all.
Thank y'all
Yeah.
so much for tuning in. We hope
Yes.
y'all got something from this.
Yes.
We had some likes from Siobhan was on here. Let me see something. Let me see something. Hold up, y'all.
Oh, wow.
I can't hear you, Tisha.
I said she gave us Andrea Simmons gave us some hearts and
Oh, good.
Sharon
Thank
Holden gave us
you.
some
Thank you
hearts
so
and all that
much.
kind of stuff. Thank y'all so much for tuning
We
in.
Yes.
love y'all so much.
Candace gave us
Yes.
hearts. We love y'all so much. And
Oh,
we just want to do something different than singing, slavery songs and all that kind of stuff. We will
yeah.
see y'all next week, my chili peppers. We
Yes.
love you
Yeah.
guys and have
Love
a
you.
wonderful weekend. God bless.
Yes.
Yes.
All
Love you
right. God
guys.
Love
bless
you.
you.